Hi, this is Mike and Marsha, and we are going to be speaking on volunteering or giving of yourself, giving of your time today.
Right. It's always important to share with people how to give, because as Christians, I think we should be givers. We're the ones that should lead in the way that we love one another, care for one another, and share with one another, and it's so important. So, first of all, I want to thank everybody for all the prayers that prayed for me and my family as I lost my brother this past week, and we had the funeral Friday, and it was really tough. You know, it's been a long time. I lost my parents, about 25 years ago, and we talk about that a lot, and that's what motivates me a lot, Marsha, is in the things that we share and going out soul winning and stuff like that, because you realize how short life is and things like that. And my brother was about 15 years older than me, but we were very close, and I've got a sister that's still living. But that's the one thing. I appreciate all the prayers everybody prayed and all the comments for my family and things like that, because we have to hold each other up during those times.
That's exactly right.
And life goes on, and I know my brother loved the Lord, and we talked about the Lord a lot. And that's the main thing is having Christ in your heart. And sometimes people struggle and they have their ups and downs, but we got to connect with people. We got to give to people. You got to, one of the greatest things I think that you can do in this world is give your time.
That's exactly right. That means the most to someone whenever they're going through some really hard times. You could give them money or whatever, but your time means the most.
Yeah, I mean, you can't get time back.
That's right.
And it's the most precious thing that we have.
Mm-hmm.
And when you give your time to your wife or to your children or to your friends or family, that's an important thing.
Yeah, I think back to kids I went to school with. Their parents were very busy,
right?
And so they didn't have that time with their family, with their parents, and so they would get out and start doing other things, but they didn't really feel loved.
Right.
So I think that's really important.
We were talking about this yesterday. Went to lunch with Pastor Holly and Pastor Timothy, and we're kind of celebrating their dads, for Father's Day yesterday. And Larry Cook was, which was their dad, was talking about the first time that his dad told him that he loved him. And Larry was about 55 or 50, somewhere in his mid-50s. And he was at church leading the choir at that time, and his dad actually called him up the next day, and he was working out in the field, and he came to the phone, and his dad actually told him, how much he loved him and was proud of him. And that's all he said.
Wow.
But Larry says, that was the first time that he could remember, so you don't realize how, for men, that's a very powerful thing.
Right.
To hear that affirmation of your dad or a friend telling you that you love them, and that's something we have to share with people.
Mm-hmm.
And we shouldn't be ashamed to do that.
That's right.
I've got, we shouldn't throw that word around lightly either. When you tell somebody you love them, you should really mean it, and you should really care for them. And it all comes from God anyway, and that's just a reflection of Him. And so many people don't have a reflection of God's love because they've had such a hard, upbringing. Larry's dad, he had a hard life. I mean, he was pretty much, didn't have anybody in his support system growing up, and didn't have that love. So if you don't have love in your life, it's hard to
give it.
It's hard to give it.
Mm-hmm.
It really is. And you've kind of got it on your heart. One of the greatest things that you like doing is volunteering, and that's giving your time.
Right. Right. The Outreach Center is a place here locally that we like to volunteer at, and it feels so good whenever you leave at the end of the night. You've helped out so many families.
Yeah.
It's just amazing how it can change your life.
I would encourage anybody, whatever, find a good church, Christian organization in your town, and go volunteer. One of the things I found out about volunteering at a Christian organization is, first of all, you're giving your time up, and that's what we're talking about, is how precious your time is. So you're kind of getting out of your schedule, kind of getting out of your life, and you're going to help somebody else that's less fortunate or whatever the case may be. And when you do that, it just really, I find for myself, my problems are not as big.
I was just thinking the same thing. Yeah, you think that you're having problems, you go down and you hear what the people are what they're going through. Oh, yours is nothing.
Yeah. And we're so spoiled in America anyway, I think. We want things for ourselves. I guess one of my biggest pet peeves as Americans I see is hoarding.
Yeah.
You know, they got shows about it now, and you know, I look at my own life, and I'm not talking about anybody else. I'm talking about me. We got so much junk. You know, the kids got so many toys. My son's got so many toys. You know, it literally it turns my stomach. I think about God. You know how He said when He poured down the manna from heaven to the children of Israel. You know, He said, take just enough for today.
Right.
Don't try to store none up. Don't try to, you know, all these different things because it's going to rot. And, you know, man, we need to give stuff away.
Yeah,
man, we got too much junk. We're spoiled.
Yeah, we'll see something like, well, I may use that next week or next year. I'm going to hold on to it.
Yeah, and it's, we got, the Bible says if you got two of something, give something away. And I had a good friend of mine that's just moved in a house, a Hispanic couple, and I loved them, and went and visited his house, and man, it was so immaculate. It was so clean. There was no junk around. There wasn't no closets full of crap. And
but in 10 years, it's probably
in 10 years it might change. Well, I don't know. This guy's a pretty cool guy. He says he tells his children if they want a new toy or they got to give something away.
That's good.
And I like that. You know, Benjamin, he's got enough. Well, he could open up Toys R Us. You know, he's got so much stuff. You know, and we're like that. You go to a store and you want something else. We always want something else.
Yeah, we always want something.
And you know, if we could just learn to give, and like I said, if you realize how blessed we really are, and you know, we don't suffer in America hardly. Even our poor people. It's like Vaughn Clark. He said we're the only nation, you know, that our poor people are overweight, and that's sad.
That is sad.
You know, I mean, we eat the fat of the land. We are blessed because of our heritage.
That's right.
You know, our nation was founded upon God, and we have to help other people out.
Well, one person that really comes to mind when I think about volunteering and giving of their time is Mike's wife, Samantha. She is such a hard worker. I remember many times whenever I was managing the food distribution, she would come over late at night to help me unload big old trucks. I mean, that girl, she would work all day, her regular job, and then come over and help me.
I'm blessed in that regard. A lot of times people don't realize, you know, when you got somebody that works like that, has a heart after the Lord, you know, that gives them times, they're not selfish. You know, they want to see, you know, they're workers.
Yes.
You know, and they work for the right reasons, and they have a heart for God and want to serve God, and you know, that's man, that you're right. Samantha's like that, and I would encourage all of you to have a heart like that. Have a heart like Samantha, where you really you not just say that you're going to volunteer occasionally, but you actually get in there and get dirty.
Yeah.
Samantha gets dirty.
Yes, she does.
I mean, you know, a lot of people are like, I might break a fingernail, you know, but, you know, she gets in there and does the work, and, you know, that's a great thing, the great characteristic that she has, and, you know, that's something that inspires me too. It should inspire all of us to really be the volunteers that we need to be to serve Christ. And so we want to encourage you today, no matter where you're at, to get involved somewhere. You know, if you're going through a hard time or depression or whatever, I mean, get out and help somebody else out. And it really help you out, won't it?
Oh, yeah. It definitely makes you feel good about yourself, and it causes you to forget about your own troubles.
Right. You know, it says in Luke 6:38, we'll close with this, it says, give and it shall be given back unto you. Now, it's kind of talking about money there, but that's anything.
Yeah, anything.
I don't think about it as money. I think give of your time, give of your heart, give of your efforts, and God gives back to you.
Yes, He will.
And He'll bless you, and He'll give you peace of mind. So do that today, and we're glad that you joined us. Thank you once again for all the comments. You can visit us at mikeandmarsha.com, and you know, give us some subjects you'd like for us to talk about, and we'll talk about them. So we love you guys. Anything you want to say before we close, Marsha?
Like Mike said, just find you a place to volunteer at, and it will make you feel so good inside.
Great. We love you. God bless you. We'll talk to you tomorrow.